Hi guys, it's Fredrina with Trinity Professional Group. So on my last video, we talked a bit about like company culture, what exactly infrastructure is, which would be the bare bones of your company, right? Remember, our sales is the fat and our physique is going to be our competitive advantage in the market. So those were a few little things I highlighted on the last video. I also gave the example of a company choosing to change its infrastructure, right? Change how the finger is connected to the hand. So with that example, we did moving sales under the accounting team, or merging them with the accounting team to make sure that when they sign new customers, all of the billing information is done right the first time, and it just streamlined that process. So that was in our last video. You can be sure to check it out. It's a really great example. It brings two completely different things, like two antipodes, north and south, together. And the complexities of it all was really about bringing two different teams who have two different skill sets, two different qualifications for what their job entails, but yet making it an efficient process and creating a new, like I said, connector, a new finger to the hand. So it was really great. Like I said, great example. So today I really want to talk about what was the impact of changing that bit of the infrastructure. What was really gained from doing that. So the main gain that we received from changing that infrastructure was efficiency. And a lot of people think that efficiency and speed are the same thing, and they are not. So you can do something fast, but you do it wrong. And then when you do it wrong, you have to touch it twice. So that takes away that speed that you did it with in the first try. So with efficiency, it is making sure that you do a process fully and correctly the first time. If we're double touching things, all my Six Sigma people out there know that if we're double tracking or we're touching something twice, it is inefficient. So to process an application, right? We're going to go back to our example from the last video with the sales team being with accounting. So to process a new contract, we're going to get the customer. We have all their information. We are going to offer our service. We have their delivery address if that's what we do, or we have their consultation fees all set up if that's what we do at our company. And now we're going to shift that information over to billing to make sure that our 30, 60, and 90-day terms are committed to and the customers pay on time. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing. So to be efficient, all of the information needs to be gathered at the time the contract is generated. At the time we have the customer and the customer agrees to the terms, the customer agrees to our time of delivery, or the customer agrees to our consulting fees. At that point, all of the billing information needs to be collected. So after sales gets this person and all of their information collected, then it's going to go over to our accounting team. So the accounting team then does, data entry. They will set up whatever pay schedule the customer is on, whether it's the 30, 60, or 90 days. They're going to make sure the credit card information or check information or ACH information is all available in the system, so that from there, everything is on autopilot. The customer is fully aware of all of the information that was collected and when it will be used, what their terms are. So now that accounting has this information, it should become autopilot. Whenever the invoice is due at their 30-day terms, or whenever the invoice is due at their 60-day terms, it goes out and accounting is just there waiting to receive those funds. So what makes it efficient is that we don't have sales going back to the customer asking them for this information. That is largely inefficient. Or we don't have accounting, who's supposed to just be receiving these funds, reaching out to the customer, getting other pieces of information. Again, largely inefficient. And in this same regard, we could have both teams reaching out to the same customer. Insanely inefficient. Like, somebody higher up needs to be in trouble if these semantics aren't worked out with customer contraction. So I think that doing it fast, right? Like, okay, we have the sale and we have a new customer. I've hit my quota for sales for the week. Okay, it's all done. No, it is not done. To be efficient, you need every bit of the process. You need all of those pieces done right the first time. It's not enough just to get the sales if we have to double back. So if you're double back to that customer that you just acquired, this takes time away from another call you could be making. So doing it right the first time is the most efficient way to create speed. If you want speed, you have to set up your infrastructure to be conducive to that, right? So if my finger is connected to my hand, I can't expect my toe to move. It just doesn't make sense that they're not properly connected. So if I need that information from my sales team and my sales team doesn't put it in, it's going to create another part of the job for the other side of the team, right? So let's just say, I know a lot of time muscle memory is what gets us in trouble, right? Like, I'm in sales, I don't, collect this information, or I'm in sales and we'll let account setup handle this, or we'll let this person handle this. But there's a reason for those steps being created. The efficiency that is generated from that trails down the line. So now with accounts having the information from the sales team, they can be efficient in their job and making sure that all of our customers remain on their 30, 60, and 90-day terms, as opposed to running back to get credit card details or ACH details from someone that's not due for another 29 days, right? But I'm missing my time for my collection efforts because the process wasn't completed right from the person who initiates the process, which is sales, right? So it's imperative to know like how your infrastructure is going to go, how the flow is going to go for what you need to have done, right? So let's say everybody gets in the habit of it. We have our muscle memory down from our sales team. They're used to collecting the credit card or ACH information. Now, when accounts gets this information, all we're doing is just making sure that everything lines up, right? We're making sure that the customer pays the invoice in full, or if there's some type of negotiation for their price being taken down a bit for the service that we provide, then that can be worked out. Those are all semantics, but everything we need to fully fulfill the process is already there. So that's the key. Now, once we have this system set up, it may take a little time at the beginning, right? Because it's new to everyone. It's new to the sales team to have to enter this information. It's new to accounting to possibly have to verify the information that sales put in. So everybody's adjusting. But in the long run, the speed that it will produce is so much more beneficial than just having the teams continue to remain separate, right? So your infrastructure, your bones, are connecting in ways to make sure your body moves in an efficient manner, right? If I need my foot to move, or if I need my toe to move, or whatever the case may be, it is connected to the right piece of my body. Or in this case, it is connected to the right piece of my business to move and do exactly what I need it to do, right? So when it comes to these things, I feel like a lot of companies don't think outside of the box. Right? So thinking outside of the box is what creates new efficient processes. It doesn't seem like sales and accounting should be together. It doesn't make sense. But when you think outside of the box, you create a streamlined process. If they generate the income, they should be connected to the people who move or allocate said income, right? It makes sense when you are outside the realm of traditional day-to-day. Accounting is here and this is there and all of these things like that. We're separate. So having a separate body, right? Like if my forearm is no longer connected to my hand, it's not gonna move. So if we don't properly join teams, or if we don't properly join processes in a way that leads to efficiency, which then leads to speed, your company can't grow. You cannot grow if you don't have an outside way of thinking, yet realizing these possible outliers actually belong together. So with Trinity Professional Group, this is just something that I offer. I really love the outside the box thinking of it all. You never would think that, like I said, sales and accounting could be together, but they depend on each other ultimately, right? So just another service that Trinity Professional Group offers. Of course, infrastructure is a huge deal, but also some business strategy as well, right? Like you could possibly merge some other departments to get where you want to be. So again, check me out on Tuesday. It's Fredrina, aka Freddie the Trinity Pro with Trinity Professional Group. And you can check me out on trinityprofessionalgroup.com. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Bye, guys.